What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. I appreciate you for tuning in with us today. Got a couple of things to go through today. We have some Swifties special bets. We have some. We're gonna talk about Chris Bauer a little bit later on. We have a couple of things to go through today. So I like to introduce Shooter McHenry here. He has his own introduction today. Go for it, man.
All right, guys. Hey, I am your stat general, Shooter McHenry, here to give you ammunition for your gambling battlefield. Here at the JDW Sports Talk Show, we are your fortress in the darkness. Myself, I'm a former engineer from the Army Corps of Engineers, and I do sports and stats spreads for fun. We're here to assist you in your war for profit. So today we've got Swifty Specials from the Super Bowl. Super Bowl LIX or 59 for the layman out there down in New Orleans. And yeah, the first one we got up is the Mind Special, the Travis Kelce to have 87 yards and a touchdown for plus 450. Thinking that one's looking pretty good as well because I think the Chiefs are going to have to pass the ball a lot, and Travis ought to be able to get into the middle of that defense. We know the rookies on the outside are playing pretty good at DB for the Eagles, Quinyon Mitchell, and the other young guy that they picked up there in the draft. I can't remember his name as well, but they ought to be able to attack that defense a little bit with the passing game and pick up some yards with Travis Kelce and then maybe even get a touchdown there. What do you think on that one?
Yeah, it seems very likely to me.
Do you know much about the middle of that Eagles defense, like the linebackers, how good they are? Are they
I
good
know
at
that
coverage?
Zach Bond has been incredible. Like he's been a guy that has forced turnovers. He's really good tackler. Like he's been like an absurd playmaker. So he's someone to watch out for. Other than that, I don't really think. I mean, you do have is it N'Kobe Dean or there's one guy that kind of comes off the edge and is a linebacker as well. But I think Zach Bond is more so of their playmaker, and that's a guy to watch out for. They do have a couple of really good safeties I will watch out for, like the kid from Illinois. I think it was Sidney Brown. He is pretty good. They Mark. Uh, I'm blanking on their other safety, but they have some really good safeties. They have some really, I think Zach Bond is definitely their best linebacker. Like I said, playmaker all over the
Is he more
place.
coverage linebacker or like a
Yeah,
tackle?
yeah, I'd say he's more of a coverage linebacker, and I mean, he is really good at both. To be honest with you, like you don't see many guys that are good at both, but he is really good at both. He's really good at forcing turnovers, but I would say he's a little better in pass coverage, and I mean, he is someone that I would really watch out for.
All right. All right. Yeah. Next bet we got up is the 7 bet. So winning margin to be exactly 7 points. I think that's a good possibility, especially like say it goes to overtime or something like that. More likely it's either going to be 3 or 7 there. Um, and the margin that they had last time in the Super Bowl was 3 points. So it could be 3 or 7 easily, but to get plus 700 on it is a pretty good number for that. So, and the kicker on that is either team could win by 7. It doesn't have to be one team or the other. So that's a nice little bonus if you're wanting to do something that's a little bit of a longer shot. Yeah, and then after that, the ready for it bet is Travis Kelce ready for the big proposal. Is he going to do it after the game? Is he going to whip that ring out? How much is that ring going to be worth?
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be a pretty hefty ring, man.
Yeah, you think they're going to get married soon or not?
I think so. I mean, come on, as the second or third Super Bowl now that she's involved. I mean, how could you not? I mean, if it's not done like at the completion of the three-peat, then when is it ever going to be done? Or are they going to do it in their own time? I don't know. I feel like at the end of the three-peat, you've just made history. That's the best time to do it. No one else has done that. You're a part of that. I think they have to. If they win, he's gonna have to do it. There's no way he can't.
Yeah, it might happen. All the Swifty fans better tune in because he might get down on that knee and propose there. But yeah, that special for Travis Kelce on that one is to score the first touchdown, and that's plus 1100. And I think that's a pretty good shot there as well. If they get down there quick and get in the red zone, I mean, he's going to be looked at. So that's actually a bet that I put a little bit of money on. I put $20 on it. So if it goes through, I win a couple hundred. That'd be nice. Yeah, it's a shot in the dark, but you never know. It could come off, and just I wanted to throw a little money down here and there just to make the Super Bowl interesting, have some stuff to keep an eye on. But yeah, Travis Kelce could get the first touchdown. That's plus 1,100, and then after that blank space, Xavier Worthy to have a 50-yard reception is plus 1,600. That's really good odds for that. Now that's a long one, but he's really fast. He's come on strong. Hollywood Brown and him have really started to ignite that Chiefs passing game. So, Patrick Mahomes hitting Worthy for a long touchdown or a 50-yard reception is definitely in the playbook tonight. So, or actually Sunday. Almost. We're getting close. Tomorrow. Thinking it's tonight.
almost there.
I've went over so many bets and stats. It seems like it's tonight.
I'm sure, man. I'm sure. Hey, got some good ones today. But yeah, I think that's pretty possible. Looking at these Eagles defensive backs, they're good. Like you said before the show here, this Eagles passing defense, they haven't really played too many really high quality passing opponents. They played one or two. They played Jane and Daniels a couple of times. They played, a couple here and there, but not as much. And, we see every time, and they're young. They're young too. That's very important to bring up before I make this next point. You look at the Super Bowl, you look at who they're playing. They're playing Patrick Mahomes. Uh, just like we see with the Bills. I mean, Mahomes and the Bills, Andy Reid, they always bring out some kind of emotions out of the opposite team. It's just of the magnitude of the game, the magnitude of who you're playing against. You feel like you got to be perfect. And these young guys, in the Eagles secondary, I think the emotions are going to be running high for them. They're young. It's their rookie year. Cooper DeJean and Q. I mean, both guys really good. They've had a phenomenal year. But they're young. Those emotions may be riding high, and they may be a little too caught up in just trying to, being too perfect, if you know what I mean. They're too focused, in the moment, the heartbeat's going up and they're having a hard time focusing just, with all the circumstances and everything going on. I think there's a really good possibility that one just has a misstep, and one misstep against Patrick Mahomes and one of these really fast receivers. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster, and that's why I think that one has a really good chance of going through.
Right, and I've seen analysis too, where when you compare the common opponents, the passing defense for both teams is pretty much even. I got that from teamrankings.com. I'd have to search up the exact tab, but yeah, I was reading through that, seen that, and it also pointed out, like you were talking about, the weaknesses in some of the opponents for the Eagles. So they have a very highly rated passing defense, but they've also not played, all the best quarterbacks in the NFL the whole season as well. So, they've played Dallas twice with their backup quarterback. They played the Giants twice. And so, yeah, they've got some games here and there where, they've performed really well, but, they haven't been going up against, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and they played Joe Burrow once, but obviously Joe Burrow's defense wasn't, playing great at parts of the season, and they gave up a lot of yards on the ground, and Burrow wasn't out there all day, but he did still get around 250 passing yards, which is pretty good in a losing effort. We were only scoring 17 points, and the other team scored like 34 or something like that. So, I think there's a good possibility for passing yards in this game for Patrick Mahomes. This game's going to be indoors, and Andy Reid has 2 weeks to prepare for this team. So you're talking about one of the best quarterbacks of all time being indoors in a perfect environment, and his coach is one of the better play callers of all time, is going to have 2 weeks to prepare for the game. So, I'm really liking passing yards for Patrick Mahomes on just about any bet. I think you can start at 250 and go up from there. I seen 250 was at about minus 118 on DraftKings last time I checked it out. So I will take that all day long. The question is, how much money are you willing to put on it, right? I think you could go up to 275. You go up to 275, you get about plus 145. There's a good chance he gets over 300 yards passing in this game because the Philadelphia defense is good enough to stop the run. They're a very good defense, and they're probably going to slow down the Chiefs running game enough where they're going to have to pass a lot. So if they do that, and they should, the Kansas City running backs are not the the elite of the league, but they're pretty good. I'm not going to discount them or anything. They do what they do well, but when they're going up against a really good run defense, which they are, that's just going to be a problem. And I don't know that they're going to get enough yards where it's going to matter. They're just going to have to start passing a lot. And if Mahomes is having to pass 2 out of 3 downs, and he's having to do that the whole game, and it's indoors, and those 2 young receivers with Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy playing as good as they are right now, and them being indoors as well, it's gonna. And Travis Kelce underneath, yeah, I like it. It's gonna be yards city. I think it's gonna be a yards fest for Patrick Mahomes. We can go on down. Give me the mastermind bet. So down here at the end of the list, we got the mastermind bet, and I'm gonna take that one and put $100 on that because that's looking like it's gonna. It's 400 yards. So yeah, 400 yards is a lot, and he may not get that. But the odds on it are so good that if I win the bet, well, now I'm getting a ton of money. Like I'm going to win like $3,000 on $100, right? So if I do that, it'll just make it fun. And there's good possibility of him getting like over 300, getting over 250, going over 275. I'm just putting that money out there for in case something crazy happens, like he just goes off. He just has that Jedi moment where he just takes over and they can't stop him, and it could happen. Very probably, it wouldn't be the first time in his career he's passed for 400 yards. I'll say that much. And when he's focused and wanting to do what he wants to do, he's pretty much unstoppable. So, yeah, the afterglow bet is also very interesting. It's Travis Kelce to score in overtime. The game's supposed to be close, so if it does go to overtime, which there's a good possibility that it does, it's plus 4,000. I mean, you can put like $10 on that and win like $400. That's it's not risking much to get a reward there. A good reward. There's the wildest dream bet, Travis Kelce to score the first and last touchdown. That's plus 9,000. Heck, you put $5 on that, win like $500, $450. So, yeah, just something, some bets to think about there, some different stuff. There's just a good chance that there's a lot of passing in this game. So all these Swifty bets that have Travis Kelce scoring or getting yards or the receivers getting yards, those are all good picks, in my opinion. So, yeah. And for the reasons we just talked about, yeah, like we were talking about, the secondary is just young. They might get picked apart a little bit. There's got to be some give somewhere. And, the only thing that's going to, obviously if Patrick Mahomes hurts his ankle, picks up a ding somewhere, anything like that, then obviously none of this stuff is going to happen. But if he plays the whole game and he's healthy, they've got to pick up yards somewhere. Where are they going to get it? You think they're going to run all over the Eagles all day? No.
Exactly. And I don't even think Mahomes had one of those crazy games this year. So there's no better time for him to do it now. A young secondary, big time Super Bowl moment. His 2 young weapons are just taking off. It's a perfect time. So I mean, it's looking pretty good. Like you said, if he's healthy all game long, I don't see him having any troubles with hitting 250 yards in the game. I mean, Mahomes is that guy. We all know it. I don't need to tell you. It goes without saying. He's one of the best of all time already. I definitely put him up there. If he retires today, Do you put Mahomes just behind Brady at number 2? Not yet.
Not yet. If
Okay.
he wins the three-peat, then he's right there with Brady.
Yeah, and it's only 7 or 8 seasons he's been around. Just like,
Well, and if he wins the three-peat, then he's done something nobody else has done before, and then that qualifies him as the one of the GOATs there.
for sure. And then is that it for the bets?
Yeah, that's all I got for the bets. I like the Pat Mahomes 250 passing yards. That's not a Swiftie bet there, but 250 yards and up, I give it a green light go all the way. Like I said, I had to call my cousin and tell him to talk me out of putting too much money on it. So he was trying to call me before the show started. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm just not going to put money on anything. I'm just going to sit and
Oh, so much for
rake
that.
in the money. Yeah, because and if the Chiefs win, I'm going to win probably $500 or $600 right there. All that needs to happen is the Chiefs just to win, and that's going to be almost a $600 night for me. So I threw some shots. That's why my nickname's Shooter. I took some shots at some other stuff here with some low money, and if I hit any of these other little shots that I put 5, 10, 15, $20 on, it's it could get up to a $1,000 night or more. So if that happens, it's going to be a good night no matter what. It looks like I'm going to come out, win some money, come out a little ahead. So the key is not to bet too much, man. So, but yeah, to get us out of here, some good point. Just, again, use caution if you bet, and never bet more than 5% of your bank on a straight bet, and never bet more than 1% on a parlay. I always suggest that everyone go read the book by Billy Walters, Secrets to a Life at Risk. It's an essential book and a piece of intel for mission success for all you gamblers out there. So with that, good hunting to everybody. Over and out.